Alright, hello and welcome to Moto 3 for Waterbug GP. Moto 2, quite the one to watch. So, right to left, we're going to have Roman and Detail, Real Deal and Luke, Opix, Fireball, Soul, Vulcan, Turkey, and Slaunch for this third Moto. Sticky Det down. Slaunch already looking pretty good for the night. 2 Moto wins. Definitely going to help in the point standing with like mulligans and cheese factored in too. Going green here. We'll see how this third Moto plays out. This turn. 3 wide through the middle. Opix, Vulcan, and Soul. Surprisingly clean. I thought it was going to be more conky, but so far a pretty clean lap 1 actually. This might be the cleanest one. Thought somebody would have died for sure, and there it is. Real Deal getting caught in the end of Fireball maybe there, midair, and cheesing over off that. Not the start that he was hoping for, especially with how his last Moto went, but early on at least. Going to try to recover from that. Detail getting a gap in the lead. Luke and Roman duking it out. Vulcan and Fireball, actually. Vulcan making a charge early on in Moto 3. Vulcan must have had a really good start. So it's going to be Detail, Luke, Roman, Vulcan, and then a battle for 5th. Oh, Real Deal. Luke passed it on to Real Deal, and Real Deal passes it on to Fireball with that inside cheese. So every Moto having one driver getting hit with the inside cheese on that rumble. This time it was Fireball, so that's going to send him back. Or it might have been no, it was Fireball for sure. Yeah. Turkey and Slaunch duking it out. Oh, Turkey actually making the move, and what is this cheese? What the hell is this battling in the back? Slaunch not having as good of a start in this one. That's going to be a position, though. And he's got a couple behind him. Oh, this works out to a 2-wide battle. Are you kidding me? Opix and Soul still duking it out back here. Turkey as well. And then Fireball and Slaunch have gotten away from them, and they're going to try to make gains. Catch back up to the pack. Real Deal going for a move here on Vulcan. He wants to recover after that second Moto. Had a pretty good Moto 1. And he's going to make the move stick right there. Gained a lot off that. Pretty clean pass. Makes it work. Moves into 4th. So here's the current gaps. This one, probably not going to be as cheesy as Moto 2, unfortunately, but I think we'll still have some battles throughout the pack. Opix and Soul really close again. Fireball, potentially. Oh, the pole cheese. No. And there goes his start. Wow. Turkey just gets there, too. That sucks for Vulcan. Really good start. All it takes, 1 pole cheese. Oh! Then Turkey saying hello to the traps there. Now it's Vulcan and Soul battling. Vulcan with the big bog, so Soul will take that. These guys still in a pretty decent battle back here. Fireball and Slaunch. Slaunch trying to get by Fireball to enter the top 5. Not going to be able to get the run there. Yeah, that's that lead battle, or that lead gap, rather. Detail already stretching it out a decent amount. Luke getting a bit of ground on Roman, but not as much of a gap there. What the cheese just happened over here? A massive send from Turkey onto Soul. Wow, that was a full send. Definitely Turkey putting the full send for sure there. Even though different teams on that one. Let's take a look at this. Turkey with the aggressive full set. You could tell he was like so late in the brakes right there. And I think just like too much speed into it. Ends up getting Soul into the pole bars. So unfortunate for Soul there. Probably be a mulligan for him on this one. But yeah, Turkey and Soul both having, I mean, at the end of the day, it's for like that last place spot for both of them. So I mean, they're both probably looking at mulligans on this Moto anyways. Because they have, I mean, obviously that cheese didn't help. They were close behind, but especially now, I mean, this gap Vulcan and Opix. That's going to be hard to catch up. That's going to be pretty difficult for them. So yeah, lead gap, pretty massive. Now Luke open up a bit of gap on Roman here too. Hitting him with the psychological tactics. Roman not having seen Pulp Fiction, not getting the references. Unfortunate, because he'd be losing full if he did, but you know, he didn't know. So either way, Roman getting distracted, losing some time here. Real Deal's catching up. You know that's how it works. Slaunch still chasing down Fireball here as well. Try to get in the top 5. Opix not too far off of Vulcan. You can tell Slaunch sending it deep into that first turn. Gain as much ground as he possibly can. Let's go on board with him and see what type of gains he can make here. Looks like he was doing pretty good the last couple laps, but maybe that lap lost a little bit on Fireball. He's going to have to try to regroup and get back to it. And I love how this works out with the bridge, but that's the leader over there, so it's pretty far away. That being said, with Battle Cheese, it's going to be tougher in this moto for sure. But with some Battle Cheese, I don't think Fireball and Slaunch, if they work together, are out of it quite yet. But they're going to need the front runners, probably Real Deal and Roman, to get close to each other and start duking it out. Maybe that'll help them a bit. Let them catch up. Maybe get involved. But without that, it's going to be really hard to do this off pure pace. That being said, we are going to be going to the halfway point at the end of this lap for this moto. So there's still time left in the moto, but the way this start is gone, yeah, it looks like it's going to be pretty difficult. This is why we are big fans of the 2-moto format with the invert, though. That the invert moto always ends up being very entertaining. It's just the absolute cheese fest. I think Slaunch gaining a bit on the end of that lap there. Maybe a bit on the end of the straightaway, too. Close behind Fireball here. Very, very close. Just needs to try to find a gap. Find an opening here if he... Fireball. Oh, yeah. That's kind of similar to what happened with... who cheesed it? It was Fireball again in like the same position. I forget who he cheesed, but pretty similar thing happened in Moto 1. Might have been Roman, low-key. I think it was Roman. But yeah, pretty similar deal there. Fireball taking a much wider entry, trying to close it in. And contact being made in the pole. It's hard to tell with the lag cheese too, because there's definitely some swappage between them, so it's hard to tell. Real Deal. Well, I think Luke's opened up the gap on Roman now. That got close again for a sec, but now it's pretty checked. And it looks like Real Deal is starting to make it happen as well. Little by little. He lost a bit on the end of that lap, but looked like he was making up some time on him. And there is plenty of time left for the shot clock cheese for him to make up that gap and make the move. And if he did, he could get himself on the podium for the second time of the night, which I think would be a pretty... Well, already I think getting on the podium once is already a pretty big success for the comeback moto, but especially if he did it twice. Roman, meanwhile, looking for another podium of his own, picking up a few here and there throughout this Firestone Firehawk season, actually picking up a win in the first week. The only driver besides the top 3 champ battle contenders to pick up a win in this season was Roman, taking that last moto, the last race at Everglade, the first opening quad. So that was a while ago, but that was a pretty good performance out of him. Maybe they're just faster at different points in the track, but it looks like, I mean, Real Deal is just little by little. I mean, this looks close now with 5 laps to go. I mean, this is definitely doable. This is definitely doable now. He's right there. See if we can make anything happen. And that's detail for the lead going below us. Again, I love the way this bridge works out for that. But yeah, so Detail's looking pretty strong for this third moto of the night to try to get some points back and make this this last race even more interesting. We'll have to see what the points update's going to be after this moto, because with potential like mulligans and cheese factoring in, we'll have to see how close it is between the top three after this night. I think it's definitely going to change things up. And then also, of course, I mean, four motos, and it's Hog Woo. That last night could get very, very cheesy. That's going to be super unpredictable, so we'll have to see how that goes. I think anything is possible on that track, especially with 4 motos. Ooh, real dull. Having it there for a sec, but getting cheese to the inside. But yeah, it's definitely an update. See if Slanch and Fireball are close again. They're pretty close. Now they're starting to get super close. But yeah, so like it's pretty unpredictable. I mean, we'll have to see how the points measure up after this moto again, but it's freaking Hog Woo. We've never done it before. Haven't done a Hog oval race in general, and now we're full sending with the Hog drift oval race. Four motos on it as well to close out the season. So it is such a wild card going into that last night. So we'll have to see how it goes. Slanch sending it, getting the line, but oh, tough. That's gonna cost him some time. That might have been his last opportunity there. Had the run, but wasn't able to make it happen. I think that might be it for him. I mean, the laps were closing down. He probably knew there wasn't much time left. Speaking of which, Detail only one more lap to go when he hits the line here. And there it is, one more lap to go. White flag, getting the lead early and not looking back in this one. Second place, hitting the line right now. Third place, hitting the line right now. So it's pretty massive. And Slanch, that gap on Fireball looking a little too far at this point for him to get that last spot. Could make the overall interesting. You know, the overall, you know, it's nice to have, but it also isn't what these drivers are thinking about with, oh! Detail hitting the showboat, one donut down, going to the line. Pulling pretty much some turkey cheese here with like the backwards run. Another donut. But he'll call it at 2, taking the win in Moto 3. Should have done 3 donuts for Moto 3, but all good. Luke gonna take second. Roman third. It would have been super clear too. Real Dill fourth. Fireball holds on to the top 5. Slanch taking 6th. Waiting on other cheesers to fall in at the line here. Then we'll get our points update. So Vulcan, Opix. Oh, wow. Turkey going for it in front of Soul, too. That is disrespectful. That is actually disrespectful. There's your full lineup. All right, let's watch the cheese. All right, let's take a look at a replay here. Slanch and Fireball did get pretty close in the last lap, so let's see what happened going into the white flag. Let's see how their last lap plays out, because Fireball has a... Oh, so maybe that cost a little bit of time. But that's still not quite enough to open up a battle, so let's see what else happens here. Slanch makes up some time there. And now within like a goose. So now it's like pretty close. Still going to be tough to get a line. Not quite able to do it yet. So maybe Fireball goes wide here. Oh, Slanch finds the inside and eats the pole. Okay. Side by side. Ah. Slight inside contact. It was close. It was close. It was a valiant last lap effort from Slanch there. actually making the pole contact work for him that time. So there you go. There's your Waterbug GP. It's going to be Detail, Luke, and Roman on the podium for that third moto. And funnily enough, Detail does end up taking the overall for the night off of that. It was just enough points for him to get 1 point over Slaunch to take his 4th overall in a row. But as far as for like mulligans factoring in and stuff, I think it was still a pretty successful night for Slaunch. So with that factored in, I think he still ends up gaining a point in their overall points gap. So looking into that last race, Slaunch is in the points lead with 254, Detail's second with 251, and Luke's third with 245. So 9 points between Slaunch and Luke, first to third. But it is a quad on territory that we have not gone on before. So who knows what's going to happen. It's probably a two-way fight now between Slaunch and Detail. That would probably be what it's going to be at this point, but you never know. 9 points with 4 races might still be doable, so I'm still, for the hype, I'm still calling it a 3-way battle. Because depending on how the night goes, I mean, it'd be difficult, but it is technically still doable. So we still have a 3-way champ battle going into the last night. It's still pretty close between the three, so. But again, it'll be Lakeview Speedway, a track that we made specifically for the Hog Woo action. And yeah, it's debut for little Hog Oval Cheese and with the drift too. So we haven't had any World of Outlaw action in a bit. So if you've been craving that, well, now you're gonna get that, and you're gonna get it on the Hogs too. So it's gonna be even weirder, but it'll still be pretty fun. So that'll be our finale again. That extra moto as well, and that 3-way championship fight. We'll see how it concludes there. As far as the other points battle, that was pretty close. As long as Fireball doesn't choke pretty hard, he's probably holding on to 5th. But Soul, Turkey, and Opix for 6th, 7th, 8th are still really close. Soul's got the edge there right now on Turkey, by 4 points. And then Turkey's up on Opix by 2. So, yeah, 2 sets of 3-way points battles going into the last night that are pretty close across both. So, yeah, definitely a lot that could change going into that last night. Funnily enough, not too much change. I mean, no actual positions in the points changed, but the points gaps did change a little bit after this race. But it didn't shift as much as I thought it might. But again, we're going into a cheesy Hog Woo where anything could happen, so maybe that'll see the big shift, or maybe it won't. But either way, have to show up to that and peep the race to see how it ends up playing out. This crazy Firestone Firehawk Season 3. Definitely don't miss it. That'll be really fun. That we're gonna have the season finale with like a first time thing as well. So I'm really looking for, besides the champ battle, like not even just completely disregarding it, I think Hog Woo is gonna be pretty fun. So I'm looking forward to seeing how it goes. I think it'll be pretty fun. So hope you guys enjoyed the videos for this one, and yeah, don't miss it again next Sunday. It'll be the 27th. For that Hog Woo debut and Firestone Firehawk Season 3 closer.